think if we went back through our presidents and figured out who had the best, like ranked them by the best butts, and then looked at how effective of leaders they were, we would like find some correlation?
I think first we're going to have to set the bar for what it means to have good butt as a president.
Putin probably has a pretty good butt.
You think Putin got a tight one?
I do. I do.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
You think Putin got that thing?
I do. He's riding horses and stuff. Like that's tight butt activity.
That is a tight butt activity. Yeah. All right. I mean, if you think Putin's got a badunk.
He stayed in power for a long time, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not judging right and wrong of, being a leader and how you're treating people and stuff. But
Yeah.
he's been a leader for a long time.
You think he just like really strongly rooted in the presidency? Like he rooted into the position? He just like, you think his knees are bent his whole entire reign?
If he needed to,
He's
could.
had bent knees,
Yeah.
just sitting there with a tight butt, just holding his position.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've never seen Trump's butt, but I don't think it's a pretty butt.
I mean, we've seen Trump's butt. He's got some childbearing hips.
He's always in suits. It's hard to tell.
Yeah,
like,
but
I feel like
he's dancing every now and again, and they'll show him like golfing sometimes, and they always focus on the fact that he has a butt like a black diabetic aunt.
Really? How did I miss this?
Yeah. I am blown away by how much pop culture shit you miss. You missed all the butt Trump memes. The Trump butt memes. Yeah,
how did you not tell me? You didn't think I'd enjoy that?
I didn't think you were missing it. It was all over. Every time he did almost anything where you could see his backside, that backside got plastered all over the internet.
What? I have to go check this out. I had no idea.
Man, there goes your night.
It's a snow day tomorrow. I got time.
Good Lord. Good thing, man. Yeah. No, the world did go crazy for a minute. It was fun to watch the world go crazy. It was also annoying because I felt like I had a very small window to matter with my economics degree, but like learning what a short sell was like way too easy.
Yeah.
It's way too easy to have that explained to you. It's not super complicated. But it's funny to watch all these people act like they knew what it was this whole entire time.
All right.
It's so it blows my mind how every time a new phrase hits the mainstream, people are like, but I've always known what a short sell was.
Yeah.
It's like, no, the fuck you didn't. I have an economics degree, and I had to remind myself what that was.
Yeah.
I don't think about the stock market on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one of those things that even though I know what it is, I kind of have to think through it a little bit every time.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
No, nobody knew what that was.
No, nobody knew what it was. They're like, yeah, it's just so funny to see all these hedge funds getting screwed over instead of the little people. It's like, you don't even know what was happening before that.
You don't know what a hedge fund is.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what a hedge fund is. It's just like, where they like slightly push their funds to the edge a little bit. Like, just like
not an edge fund.
All right, I know what an edge fund is, though. I do know what an hedge fund is. I apologize. I do mix them up sometimes. I'm very confused on what a hedge fund is, but I know what an edge fund is. They're risky.
Yeah, for sure.
Very risky.
Not many people get into them.
No, you don't want to, because they fall off the edge.
You got to listen to the song "Living on the Edge." Like you blast that every time you get involved in it.
Yeah, people don't know that song is about financial responsibility.
Yeah.
A lot of people miss that meaning. That song has a double meaning, but a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. It's no, it is funny though, like how like the idea of short selling. And again, I'm not trying to like take the reins or condescend to anybody, but I think we have to explain what short selling is. Just because some people are not faking the funk and are like, fuck that, I'm not learning.
I think you just are like, listen, I'm better explaining this than anybody else out there, and you're in your hot pants right now, and you want to show off. So go ahead.
I might
break it down, Sydney.
I might be better at explaining this. I have an economics degree. I am an idiot, and I can best explain this to idiots. Like there's if you want to get a good explanation and understand it right away, get that explanation from an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't care how smart you are.
That's risky, though, because you have to make sure your idiot knows what they're talking about. Because you might find an idiot that's going to, like, an idiot will tell you what it is. Like, that idiot might not know, though. You know
I mean, they're not going to be able to explain to you in details or, like, how things came to be to that. but they can give you the crux of what they're explaining. And listen, I'm not going to pretend that my explaining things isn't an hedge fund. Like every explanation, like I am an hedge fund. All of my knowledge is that you better, dude, it's very risky. At any moment, everything that I told you could fall apart.
Well, go ahead and explain it, because you explained it to me and I'm like, oh yeah, I get that. And I was still talking to other friends and they're like, oh, I don't know, my head exploded when I was trying to learn what it was.
Are you serious?
I was a little afraid to put my
well, you got to explain by
translate
an idiot.
Yeah, it was like
You had
you
had short sale for dummies.
Yeah. so go ahead. Short sale for dummies.
Right. So real quick, I'm only explaining what a short sale is, so we can just like proceed to the next thing, right? So what a short sale is
I'm gonna look up a Trump butt meme.
Okay, so Ansley's gonna look up that dunk, and in the meantime, so what a short sale is I'll use Ansley as an example. Ansley is she's going to be a person that I'm borrowing one stock from. I'm using one stock because the math is going to be easy for this, right? So I'm borrowing one stock from Ansley. Now that stock is worth $10, right? She has one $10 stock. So I'm going to use that stock that I borrowed. I don't own that stock, right? I'm borrowing that stock. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sell that stock. I'm going to sell that stock for $10. I have $10 in my pocket now, right? The whole entire reason that I borrowed that stock from Ansley in the first place is because I knew she had one shitty stock, and that stock was about to go down a lot of money. So I borrowed it from her, didn't spend any money, borrowed that stock from her, sold that stock, I gained $10. Now the stock, as I predicted, went down. It goes down to $3. Now it's a $3 stock. So what I do is I take that $10, I buy that $3 stock back, right? So now I have the stock back, and I can give Ansley back her stock that I borrowed, because she only wants the stock. That's all she wants is her stock and a little bit of interest for borrowing her stock in the first place. So I got to pay her $2, right? So now, I just lost how much I made. Fuck. I bought it for 10, sold it for 3, so I have 7, and I paid you 2. I made $5 on that stock, and I didn't spend anything. I might have had to put a little money down for collateral, but it wasn't, like half, right? So the money that I basically made $5 off of shorting the stock, right? And are you back in?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Quite a rabbit hole.
It's quite a rabbit hole, right? Trump butt rabbit holes, right? Yeah. So you got that, right? You got what a short stock is?
Yeah.
Right? So let me hear you explain it real quick. Just as quickly as you can, like Cliff note it.
All right. I have a stock. It's worth $1. No, it's worth $10. It's going to go down. Really, it's going to go bad.
Yeah.
So you say you're going to borrow it from me, and then it goes down. You make some money. You give it back to me and give me my $2, and you end up with more money.
I sold it originally. I sold it for 10. It went down. I bought it back for 3.
Well, yeah.
Gave you your stock back. Now I have 7.
Now you have 7.
Right,
and I have my stock back, and I have $2.
And $2. So you made money. You were the hedge fund in that.
Yeah,
you made yourself the hedge fund.
So
you're
living risky. Yeah. But I'm like just making profit.
Even in that example, we didn't know what a hedge fund was. Like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
So here's what's funny to me. I was thinking about this earlier, and it was cracking me up all day long. So in college, you try to. So here's why it's risky to short sell, because if the stock goes down, I make money. But if the stock price goes up,
you screwed.
Right, it costs me more money than I spent to buy the stock back, and now I'm losing money. Right?
Yeah, so and you're paying me $2.
And I'm paying her $2. So that's how all these companies lost money, because they were betting on the stock price to go down, but instead it went up. So now it costs them more money to buy those stock back. And they have to give those stocks because they're indebted with those stocks. Mm-hmm. So they have to give those stock back. Mm-hmm. So now it costs more money to do so. So now they're shit out of luck, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So that's the gamble, right? Just the value can go up instead of going down, right? So Ansley tried to short sell my dick in college to try to tell people that I had a little dick, so that my value would go down and that she could scoop me up at a discount and then not have to worry about, she like just have all this confidence. But like, that's not how it works. She almost lost it all because like when you start telling somebody, it almost backfired because like all those people were then curious about my dick and they just needed to know.
I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
almost lost it all. I almost got ways. I didn't even know what was happening. They're like, why are these people all curious about my dick all of a sudden? I didn't even know what was happening. All of a sudden, I almost got way too expensive for Ansley to afford.
You're lucky you had pudding money, is all I
Yeah,
have to say.
I think that is a funny thing that works the wrong way. Like it doesn't work the way you would expect it to. Like if you want like chicks to stay away from your man, like respect, the distance between them and your man. You got to tell them he has like a monster dong, right?
You think so?
You do, because like if you like, oh, he has a little dick, then they're like, oh, she wouldn't even care if I took him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're like, oh, he has a really big dick, you're like, I don't want to disrespect her and take her. I don't want to step on toes and like upset anybody. Like, good on you. I'm so happy for you.
Everybody respects a monster dog.
Yeah. It's like, all right, yeah. You just got to be careful if you're short selling people.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
This is a lesson here.
You got to be careful, man.
You're gonna write a fable about it.
That is a thing. I mean, it kind of goes both ways because, like, you can, as a guy, you can be like, oh, yeah, this chick got a stank pussy. Her pussy stank, right? Mm-hmm. And now you're thinking that people are going to, I'm not going to stay away from that stank pussy. But, like, you can't tell a guy that. You tell a guy something stinks, they're like, I want to smell it. I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, that is one of the most confusing, I guess, like dilemmas for a guy is when a human goes, ew, smell this.
A malfunction moment.
Dude,
You're
it's like you break down. You're like, I can't. It's like, because you're getting all the red flags that you shouldn't. But that is the call of the wild for men.
What is like, you think it's just like men being exaggerating and being stupid? You hear so many men that are like, I can't with dirty diapers. I just can't. Or is it because they're like, the whole time they're like, I smell it. I gotta smell it. It smells so bad. Like,
yeah,
what?
they can't stop smelling it.
Is that like,
it's shit in their hand.
Yeah.
They're
They're
just
just
I don't like changing diapers.
it makes me vomit. It's like, yeah, it makes everybody vomit. Just stop smelling it.
Stop inhaling it with your mouth open.
Yeah,
Stop doing
like
that.
It's gross.
Stop gulping air. Close your fucking mouth, dude. Stop eating air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is too yeah, it's one of those dude, child stuff is kind of weird because you're like it always feels like, and again, I'm not speaking about every woman is like this. You could be absolutely not like this, but a guy is going to always feel this way. There's something about being with a woman where you're like, I got to be careful. She's going to make me like try to answer her every whim. You know what I mean? It's like you got to be careful how much you say yes to.
Is that a man's, like, a man battles that?
Dude, like, it's almost as equivalent to, like, ew, smell this.
Well, I think women struggle with it on the same side because women are nurturers, right? And we want to take care. But, like, you coddle a man too much, and then he can't even, like, I don't know how dishwashers work. Like,
Yeah.
they get stupider and stupider, you know?
I agree. I'm not arguing, but I'm just saying that, you know, as far as the child rearing stuff is concerned, where it's like, if I change this diaper, I'm going to be all of a sudden, like, if I change this one diaper, next thing I know, I'm fucking breastfeeding. I got to know where to draw the line. You know what I mean? You got to know where to draw the line as a man.
Yeah.
Because if a woman, if it can be done,
Yeah.
a woman would have her man breastfeeding. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
only fair.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I've encountered more and more men that also, like, as they're like, oh, as I've gotten older, I'm so scared of heights. Like, terrified of heights.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason why you even go up high anyway is to impress a chick. Like, that's the whole point of going high.
You hit 40, you're like, I'm staying low.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay. I just want to stay low. That's like, that's what you hear. Like married men are like, I just want to stay low. Just keep staying low. I don't want to get in, I don't want to get in any trouble.
Honey, let's go high today.
It's like, man, let's stay low. Let's stay low. Let's stay low. Because it's like, you want to go high because you want people to see your new butt.
Yeah.
I want to stay low. I don't want anybody seeing your new butt. I don't have to fight for this.
You're all supposed to catch me too. If I fall,
Yeah.
if I'm up high and I fall, like you're there to catch me. If you don't catch me, what am I even in this relationship for?
That's the expectation. See, no, women, you got to be able to catch yourself because the only way you can be caught is if you're higher than me.
Yeah.
I don't allow that in this house. Ain't no woman being higher than me in this house. Not my type of relationship. Man, this is a good transition, actually. I want to transition into a story from this conversation because it's funny to me.
All right.
You know who Chad Wheeler is?
No.
Right, Chad Wheeler is a football player for which team, I don't remember. But he is the most recent football player to be in trouble for beating up his girlfriend.
Oh, so many football players get caught on video hitting their girlfriends. Like, I don't know if it's more football players do it, but I feel like football players do it in hotels and elevators and places that have cameras.
Yeah, well, this actually wasn't caught on camera. This domestic abuse is all on the honor system.
Oh.
Like, she reported it, and I guess he's like,
I'd be hitting her.
Yeah, I did it. I did it.
Yeah.
I did what she said. I mean, I think he's also proud of it.
Yeah?
I think the event that, like, spurred this conversation,
Yeah.
I think he's proud of it. I think he's like, that was fucking me. I did that. Hell yeah, I did that.
Oh, why do you, so she did something that you feel like she should have gotten a hit for? Like, you feel, is there some justification?
No, I would never say that.
But
I would never say
but
that. No, there's no but. I don't know what she I mean, well, I guess there is a what she did. It's a what she didn't do.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll tell you what happened first. I'll tell you what he did to her first.
Okay.
Right? He basically just choked her out. He like beat her up a little. She did have like black eyes and stuff in a picture. So there was some physical shit that happened too.
Yeah.
But he choked her out.
Yeah, like this, like
I don't know.
double hand around the neck.
Maybe it sounds like it might have been a long choke out. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's the choking that also requires some hidden, because people don't know this, and I keep
still.
Yeah, dude, I say this all the time. Like, that hand choke like that takes forever.
Yeah.
That is a long choke.
Yeah.
Like, that's a choke where you're like, this isn't working. You start punching.
Yeah.
You know, like, this choke.
Stop wiggling.
Yeah,
I can't quite stop all this blood getting to your brain.
I don't know how to make this choke work. Just start hitting like a gorilla.
Yeah.
Chad is 6'7".
Ew.
He's a lineman. He's a 6'7" lineman, over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
White dude, long hair.
That's the other reason why you hear about these too, because these guys are so big. You're like, why are you beating up that lady? Like, it doesn't matter how big that lady is. Stop beating her up.
There's so many reasons why he shouldn't be hitting the lady. One, he's so big. He's so much bigger than her.
Yeah.
Two, he's so much richer than her. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't like the way she's acting, go start another life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let her have the house.
Yeah.
Go start another life.
Yeah.
That's all you, like, it's that easy. It's that fucking easy. So yeah, it is a little weird that football players beat the shit out of their girlfriends like that.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no need to do that.
What do we say? It's because they get too many concussions
And
and they're not right in the head?
I mean, I think that might be conventional wisdom at this point,
Yeah.
But I also do think that they live a life of aggression.
Right.
You
So
know?
it's hard to turn off.
Yeah, they also live a life of a certain type of privilege.
Yeah.
They, like, their whole entire, like, as soon as you develop into a sports star, I mean, I was only, like, good at track.
Yeah. Nobody likes a track star.
Nobody gives a fuck about what a track star does, right?
Usain Bolt, maybe. But, other than that, come on now.
But the thing, my high school life was very easy and fun because I was a track star, right? And it was only track.
Mm-hmm.
I could only, and I was never one of those people to look over at what the football players were getting to be like, oh man, but they're getting, it's like, nah, what I'm getting fucking rocks.
Yeah.
This is the shit.
Yeah.
I loved my life in high school. It was amazing, like getting in like fucking newspaper write-ups and in the press for shit, and yeah, it was fun. It was
It's
a fun
so funny
experience.
because, like, I did get a little bit of newspaper write-ups in high school. Not a single person said shit to me about it.
Oh, you played lacrosse.
It was for skiing.
Oh, oh my God.
Downhill racing.
It was for what? It was for what, white leisure activities? Are you kidding me?
I did the best sports.
If anybody ever has to wonder whether or not Ansley's white,
Or I was also in the newspaper for springboard diving.
all the white sports, all the country club sports, never belonged to a country club. That's fun. Your family never belonged to a country club, huh?
No.
Yeah, you did all the country club sports.
By my own choice.
Ansley was like,
I wanted to be fancy.
Ansley was trying to work her way into whiteness. She was trying to athlete her way into whiteness.
I got stuck with you somehow. I don't know how that went. Went to the right college to get into whiteness. I did everything right. Ended up at the bottom of the hill with you.
Hey, that's your fault for being liberal and shit. Now you're stuck with me.
Yep.
And now we're sitting in front of a butt tapestry talking about fucking. So Chadwick, he beat up his girlfriend. He choked her out. Right?
Oh.
He just started eating next to her.
Yeah,
body.
I was gonna say that's got to be kind of awkward when it's like after she's choked out and you're like, huh.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have. Woo! I got a little carried away there. Like.
Yeah, I think he was like, oh God, that took a lot out of me. I gotta eat. I didn't know that was gonna tap, man. That was hard.
She's so tiny. Like
Yeah.
that's a tiny neck, and my hands are so big. And
Dude, and it's like too, athletes, I see them making this type of mistake more readily than the average population because, especially a lineman, after when the play starts, they start putting their hands on each other. They put their hands like up a chest, like on a chest. They feel how hard that part of the body is. And then it goes to the throat.
Yeah.
And they feel like their hands squish into like a giant lineman's throat.
Yeah.
And they're like, I could choke like a regular sized human. Like if it's this easy for my hand to go into the soft tissue of a giant black man's throat,
yeah.
dude, my girlfriend has no shot.
No shot.
She better fucking straighten up.
Can't imagine her coming out of like being choked out, like not like, oh, what the fuck just happened? He's over there eating like meat and potatoes, and you're like what is going through her mind?
Okay, so when she woke up, he's over there eating. He sees her wake up, and he goes, "Oh, you're alive."
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, and she like ran into the bathroom and called the cops.
That seems like the right reaction.
It does. It's also there's something to be said about the fact that he allowed that to happen.
Yeah, he knew
Right?
he was
Yeah, because
gone too far.
He choked her out in a bed.
Yeah.
So she was like laying in a bed, and he was sitting in a chair.
Creepy.
Eating, or maybe he was sitting on the bed, but either way, he was sitting.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's the position that linemen explode from.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to stop her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could have stopped her.
He could have got her.
He could have got her. There's no way she
Well, he
would have
could
been
have
able
taken the phone while she was out and like.
Well, he thought. I mean, if he thought she wasn't alive anymore, there's no reason to start confiscating shit.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so.
He's like, please put her phone next to her for a memorial.
Yeah.
She was always on this thing. She would have wanted it this way. Like they probably that is something that probably happens. Like when domestic abusers knock out a woman, they probably get real sweet.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, when she wakes up, I don't want her to not have her favorite things next.
Yeah.
So this is why all of this happened, right? Because he told her to bow down to him and she wouldn't.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. And he's a white guy?
He is a white guy.
I mean, I don't think I'd like this if any man said that, but like, come on, white man. Like it's 2020.
Dude, it's funny. It's funny you say that. Well, it's funny you say that because that's part of this.
Yeah.
Right? That's part of this.
Oh, is she black?
She is black.
Oh no, white man.
Yeah. And Jamel Hill from ESPN.
Yeah.
ESPN or formerly of ESPN. She got fired. She has her own little sports show that she does with somebody like a podcast. Seems like it's pretty popular, right? But she was saying that it should be considered a racist hate crime.
I don't think it's a racist hate crime, but it's in bad taste.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
No.
It's for sure not a good look.
Because I think domestic issues trump any race. Like once you're in like a relationship with somebody,
yeah,
like I don't think that you get to be like, well, that's how white people and black people. No, this is a relationship. This is how this man and this woman treat each other.
So what I was seeing people saying is that like just the fact that he told her to bow down as a black woman and he a white man, that alone is racist.
But I mean, why is he like? Unless you're trying to say it's some fetish shit, like why is he with a black woman if he's so racist, right? Like that's not racism, right?
Yeah, it's really hard to justify all of that when you have to consider all of the logic, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, man. When you think about the things that all domestic abusers, like not just like the physical abuse, but some of like the mental abuse that they put their significant others through,
Yeah.
it all sounds racist.
Oh yeah. That's very true. Yeah.
It's like when I was listening to like some of the like the R. Kelly documentary,
Yeah.
and some of the stuff he would make those girls do, like,
Yeah.
like
It's all racist.
it's fucking racist.
R. Kelly,
Like
you
he's not
racist.
letting her eat.
Yeah.
It's fucking racist, R. Kelly. Let that woman eat. What the fuck is your problem, dude? Dude, it was terrible.
That's very true.
Yeah,
Very
it's
true.
terrible. Terribly racist. Domestic abuse is racist. It's just racist. That's just how that works, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Yeah. I
It
guess
does.
you can charge them all with that.
Yeah,
Just
charge
throw
every
it all, like all,
domestic abuser.
yeah.
Yeah.
And racist.
Yeah. So a lot of people were saying like, well, it could be considered a hate crime because she's a woman, like a woman being a minority
Yeah.
in and of itself.
Yeah.
Which that's not the point that she was making. However, I could be down with that. I could be down with if people that are like charged and proven to be domestic abusers, if they also get charged with a hate crime.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Because you're taking advantage of being the stronger sex. Like you're taking advantage of your advantages.
Also, too, it's like we need to start actually characterizing things for what they are, so we stop just blanket using racism.
Right.
Right. And all domestic abuse is fucking racist on its face.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if we started to actually be like, no, that's a fucking hate crime too. Like mistreating women
Yeah.
is also fucked up. Then a lot of these situations where women are being mistreated, like that may be being mistreated by a white guy when they're black,
Yeah.
they can stop being like, he was racist to me. It's like, no, he was disrespecting you because you're a woman,
Yeah.
not because you're black. He
Yeah.
loves black people. This guy loves he lets them stay in his home. He has a relationship with them. He wants them to bow down to him. I mean, that's just everybody's got house rules.
Oh man, that must have been ugly, huh? I wonder if he's ever had her bow down to him before, or if that was the first time he was like, "No, I'm making it happen tonight."
Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Matt and Tim about this. Matt McCusker and Tim Butterly. Maybe we were talking on a secret podcast. I don't know, maybe. But Matt was suggesting that like maybe he just wanted to get at her. He knew she wouldn't bow down.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know,
Like he knew.
but
Yeah.
also just sucker punch the bitch. You know, like why make it a whole thing? That's what women do. You know, like try to like fabricate a reason to justify it.
Yeah.
Men just punch. You know? I'm not saying he should have just punched her,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like why put her through all of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just like
Man.
get to the point, dude.
Yeah.
Stop being a bitch about it.
Yeah. I wonder if he had like that food ready. Like, did she make him that food and he just had to go to the kitchen and like heat it up, or was it like takeout? Like, I wonder when he was sitting there eating it.
Holy
like, am I
fuck.
eating the dinner that my loved one that I just murdered, or like I think I murdered, like lovingly made me?
Well, you actually made me realize that, you know, you got to be careful what you feed people because you don't know what it's going to trigger in them. Like maybe he gave, like she did make it for him, and you know, like she gave him like a big giant turkey leg with like a giant potato.
And he thought he was a Viking.
Yeah,
He was like,
just
fucking bow down. Oh, you won't, I choke you. Like, stop making
Yo,
such a kingly, manly,
yeah,
like,
don't make him
aggressive
royal
meal.
dinners and shit.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Dinner was way too aggressive.
If it's something that Henry VIII would have eaten, like, do not make your fucking giant lineman husband or boyfriend a Henry VIII meal. Like that's
Women, make your man a vegan. Like,
Yeah.
start working on him now. Here is your nobody's gonna choke you out when they're eating tofu.
no, that is for sure the case. Only if you are in a relationship with a football player, only vegan. You only prepare vegan meals. You
Here's your veggie burger,
'cause
honey.
think about how that must look to a giant.
Yeah.
Right? You know? Like you're 6'7", and this woman is like bringing you a plate of like a kingly meal,
Yeah.
and then like backing away.
Bow down.
Yeah, because it's like you eat a lot, so the plate's heavy as fuck. So
Yeah.
she's carrying it with two hands. Like, and it's got so much heft to it that her back's a little bent. You know what I mean? It's just like,
She's been cooking all
Yeah.
day to make enough food to feed you.
and then when she puts it down, she's like, "Whoa, that's oh my god, my back." So it like kind of looks like
Yeah.
it kinda looks like she bowed down. He's like, "No, I want the full bow. I want the full fucking bow."
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that is a hilarious thing to consider. Like to be careful, to have to be careful of what type of meal
Yeah.
might trigger your man.
She had like a whole pig on the plate with like an apple in its mouth. She's like, honey. He's like, yes. Feed me.
Dude, you can't. No, yeah. And what was she wearing? What was she wearing? Was she wearing a dress that went all the way down to the floor? You can't serve him food like that.
He just got carried away. He didn't know. Like, he has hit his head a lot.
Yeah, it is winter. Were you wearing a dress with long sleeves? You can't serve your man a meal wearing a dress with long sleeves and not expect him to king out like that. Yeah, I do want to know how that happened. Like, did he just finish watching the show Vikings, or
Yeah.
because even in Vikings you don't treat your women like that.
No, you don't.
You know?
Like, yeah, no.
Because then if she stabs you, then it's justified.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't treat your woman like that.
Yeah. So what show was he watching where he was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm very curious to know what type of media he was taking in that inspired him to do such terrible things.
Yeah.
It's probably video games. I don't play a lot of video games. I don't know what's happening out
Video
there.
games and porn.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it was more like Game of Thrones and,
Yeah.
Xbox.
Games of Thrones would lead you to
Yeah.
do that.
Especially like that one, the rape season.
Yeah.
This dude just started Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, it's COVID. People are going back and watching, like, yeah.
You check his Netflix history. You gotta check his Netflix history and his fucking diet journal. Like, you gotta piece this together. Like, how did this happen?
roasted duck yesterday. Roasted pig today. Turkey legs tomorrow.
Yeah, that's smack your woman meals. So we figured that out. We figured that out. So yeah, what do you got? Oh, by the way, I have to tell you. So yeah, check out our Patreon. If you're liking what we're doing here, you'll love our Patreon. Our Patreon, we get a little looser. Believe it or not, it can be done. We get a little looser. We're behind a paywall, and we trust that you trust us, and our heart is in the right place. And yeah, so we have a little more fun on the Patreon. I mean, this is fun here. We have fun here.
Yeah.
And but I do have to touch. So the last Patreon episode I didn't put out.
You didn't.
Yeah. So
We were too.
yeah, it was. I had too many questions about whether or not. So afterwards, I stretched.
Yeah.
And I felt like a completely different person. I felt
Yeah.
so good and so energized that I didn't in comparison to how I felt when we recorded, my performance brain wouldn't allow me to allow that to represent us.
We had a lot of intellectual stuff in that.
It was.
It was smart.
It was good.
We solved who the devil was.
Oh, we fucking did.
Yeah.
We did.
But, for
Yeah.
another day.
For another day. Maybe for another Patreon. Or maybe we'll make it to it in some of this episode. But just all we're saying is like maybe the serpent in the Garden of Eden maybe wasn't such a bad guy. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Go back and think about it. Think
Yeah.
about that story. It's deep.
Yeah, just consider this. Like if the serpent was just trying to get them, Adam and Eve, to eat from the tree of knowledge so that they themselves can have knowledge, why was that such a bad thing? Why was it necessary to be in God's good graces to not have knowledge? Right? Or why is the lack of knowledge necessary to be in God's good graces? It's kind of interesting. And it's kind of, I just feel like that's kind of what the elite, if they, I think that was, again, a story of ancient wisdom. It's a wisdom tradition,
Yeah.
So this is a story of like what people that consider themselves gods can do.
I also so I guess my brain has continued to work on this since we talked about it, but I think
This is a hard transition, by the way. But yeah, we're here. We're here now.
I think it also could be looked at as a form of be careful what you wish for, right? Because you want knowledge, but with knowledge, you become aware of much more, because you become aware of more of the suffering, because everything's a yin and a yang, and you can't have true happiness without true devastation. Like you can't, you can't appreciate the love of your family without the reality that is that you could lose part of your family. You know, so like this needing this experience of opening your eyes and realizing and becoming more than just like an animal, you know, living life and trying to survive, becoming beyond that. You're also going to have a lot of heartache, and things aren't going to be beautiful all the time. It's going to be, you know, beautiful, ugly, evil. You're going to have it all.
That's true. So I went down a different direction that you actually started me on in the Patreon, because I continued with this as well, because it's fun to think about and consider.
Yeah.
And then it draws parallels to kind of what we're living in right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was the one thing that you said where it was like, yeah, they're always, you know, like, you can't read the Bible. Like, it's a sin if you read the Bible. Like, I have to read it to you.
Right.
You know, like that like when you said that, like that's what my brain kept tripping over and like coming back to.
Yeah.
You know, flowing, because like, you know, that's what's happening right now with the GameStop stocks.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you guys can't make money like that. We got to stop that. That's wrong. You guys can't do that. We can.
Yeah.
You know, and then we'll make money and then we'll create jobs for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but that's like that's kind of how, that's what the elite does. That's what the 1%, not just the 1%, but just like the governing bodies are like the people in power. Because if we had power that was equal to them, we wouldn't need them.
Right.
So they have to be needed and necessary, and also benefiting from all of this.
Yeah.
So the only way, it's harder to benefit when the market, again, if 300 million can invest like this, it's a lot harder for, you know, 300 people to make billions.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking a lot about that, man. It's like I don't know if we talked about this during the Patreon, maybe we did, but like, because in this current, again, I'm not a Trump supporter, but if it's true that Trump had a mission to expose the corruption in Washington, D.C., and then we saw the reaction to that. It was like, no, he's evil, he's racist, he's bad. It's like, well, he's the serpent in this story.
Right.
Like, he was trying to give us from the tree of knowledge, and
I love that he's the serpent too, because you're like, ew, he's gross. He's like, makes your skin crawl. Like, like he is the serpent. You know, you're like, oh yeah, he's the fucking devil.
He's
and then you're like,
he's a very serpenty guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's you know, it's just like something to consider. Ainsley, what do you got?
I got some murder.
Yeah. Okay, but just real quick, I mean, like that's the kind of stuff we get deep about. It's also funny and philosophical, but we flip stuff like that in the Patreon. We do all sorts of stuff on the Patreon. So check out our Patreon, subscribe. It's only $1. $1 gets you in, gets you all the premium content. Ainsley, what do you got?
So there's this one. I've got two murders for you, right? So for there's this one murder in Tennessee, and I keep following it, but like there's not all that information there yet, but I'm going to put it out here for us so that we can like follow it and see what, because there's something weird going on. All right. So there was a Tennessee man, 70 years old. He went hunting, duck hunting. He went to a place where everybody goes duck hunting. There were 3 people up in a bird blind. He got in an argument with these people. The 2 people that were up in the bird blind that he shot and killed, one was 26 and one was 25.
Mm-hmm.
There was another guy up in the bird blind, and he's like, I can't comment on what the argument was about that led to the shooting.
Oh, they were up there doing gay stuff, and that old man stumbled upon him and was like, not in my backyard.
Right? Something's not right there, right?
There was they were doing some weird something up there.
Yeah, so he shot them and killed them. There was an argument, he shot them and killed them. And then, so they've been looking for this man ever since this happened. This happened like a Friday ago. They found him and he left his boat. He left his truck, and he fled on foot. They found him on Saturday dead in the lake.
He drowned himself because he saw that gay shit. It started converting him. Every step that he took away from it, he thought he was getting further and further away.
Yeah.
Like he killed him, first of all. It's like, no, you're not kidding me. And then like as he was getting away, he was like turning into like a gay werewolf. He was just like in the woods.
Oh man, you haven't even seen a picture of this man. He's so turned into a gay werewolf.
He's like, what is happening to me? No. They had such cute butts. No. I wonder what a dick feels like in my mouth. No. Man, I 100% like I don't know anything about this story, but what you told me, and I don't like when people like make things up and then believe them to be true. But this is what I'm doing right now. I think I'm nailing this. I think he saw something that like is like he was like I got to go home and burn my fucking eyes out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like I think they were violating his America up in that fucking bird. What'd you call it? Bird what?
A bird blind?
A bird blind. Yeah. They fucking disgraced his America up there.
We may never know, but I thank you for letting us know because this has been bothering me.
Yeah, not in my backyard. I would love it if he like lived close enough for it to be kind of in his backyard. Oh, whoa, people, R.I.P. bird blind guys.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
You know,
Chance
26.
and Zachary, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry for what
Chance
happened
and
to you.
Zachary.
Yeah.
All right, are they white guys?
I think so. They're from Tennessee and they're hunting birds.
Yeah, I don't know.
Assuming.
Tennessee is a hunting culture. Well, actually, if they weren't white, we'd definitely know about that.
Right.
I mean, because they wanted to consider this guy choking out his girlfriend a racist hate crime.
Right.
There's no way shooting 2 black guys in a bird blind
Yeah.
wouldn't be considered a hate crime.
Everybody like, black guys are in a bird blind, huh?
He just didn't want them hunted. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they're trying to keep black people from sustaining their own meal. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, calm down. But yeah, no, this is, man. Oh, I would have loved to have seen him like running away from that scene, trying to purge the dirty thoughts out of his own mind.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, he went and drowned himself.
He couldn't handle it.
He tried to baptize the sin out of himself.
Oh, yeah. He didn't, yeah. It was too
That was
much.
a lot of sin. He was
Yeah.
converting.
Oh.
He was converting.
He made it to 70
Yeah.
years old,
Yeah.
not doing anything. He was like, oh, no.
Yeah, it
I've
didn't.
had enough life.
There's about like a couple times in his life where like it almost took him.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like he was able to fight it off.
Yeah.
But this like he was too old. He was too old and feeble to fight it
Ugh.
off anymore. The urges were too much.
Yeah.
Like he was like before he got in, like he was like yes, yes, yes. It's like, why did I wear these boots? They don't go with anything. Oh man.
So,
And again, the Patreon, we get loose.
just, Sydney, keep your eyes out because in
For gay werewolves.
No, yes, you can do that too. But in Cairo, they just found another 3,000-year-old burial shaft near some pyramids and stuff. So there's going to be some ancient Egyptian, ancient
They're not
advanced
burial
civilization.
shafts.
They're coming. There'll be some more information coming.
Listen, to this day, and including this horseshit knowledge that they're trying to perpetrate, there has never been evidence of a sarcophagus or anything mummified inside any pyramids.
They found a Book of Dead in this area. That's what they told me.
What do you think the Book of the Dead is?
I don't know. Sounds cool though.
The Book of the Dead is about life, girl.
All right, so here's my next murder.
Wait, but I mean,
Okay.
but what you say they found this in pyramids or?
It's south of Cairo, and what's the guy's
But they're
name?
not using the word Zahi Hawass.
Yeah, he's
a famous Egyptologist that I know because I this is my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are was the word pyramid used?
The only in that they said that it was south of some pyramids.
Okay, so what you're talking about are the things that they actually have found people to be buried in, or certain tombs that they have found people to be buried in. And again, that's why they think that the pyramids were ancient tombs, in that the tombs around the pyramids that actually did have people in them were like where they buried the workers, right?
Well, they were saying that this is the area where they found some queen that they hadn't known about. Queen, I can't remember
Yes.
what queen it was.
They have like all of the royal people that they found.
Yeah.
None of them were in pyramids.
All
They
right.
were all in
chambers
like,
connected to these pyramids.
not even connected, like
Just
away,
chambers.
away from the pyramids.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And because you don't bury your dead where you also have your fucking power plant, which is what the pyramids were. I'm not going to get into that. That's not what this is about. That's not what Ansley came here to talk about. That's not why she brought it up in the first place. But I'm just saying, it's all right. I'm curious to see. I don't know if I heard about this quite yet. I'm a little upset about my YouTube algorithm for having Ansley tell me this shit. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's
Yeah.
embarrassing. YouTube algorithm. That's fucking embarrassing. All right. I don't
All
know
right,
why I
you
spoke
ready?
directly into the camera at the YouTube algorithm.
Because they're listening to you. This is our next murder. All right. So there is a lady named Anna Marie Chodhary.
Chode.
Chodhary.
No, Chody.
She killed her sister's boyfriend, John Thomas McGuire, on Valentine's Day.
First of all, that dude's a dick. He had 2 first names.
John Thomas.
John Thomas.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, John Thomas. You don't know everything. Like he was the one. Like he's the dude that's like acting like he knows everything. Like when COVID first hit, he was a fucking epidemiologist, and then when the GameStop stock started hitting, like he was suddenly a stockbroker.
Yeah.
Like, John Thomas, shut the fuck up. You don't know everything, John Thomas.
So after they had there was her sister's boyfriend, and her dad. They all had Valentine's Day dinner together. After dinner, they hit him over the head with a wine bottle. They tortured him. They injected him with meth. They strangled him. They disinterred him. They dismembered him, and then they buried him. So, and then her sister Amanda married her dad.
Wait, hold on a second. How many people? Who killed this guy again?
So Anna did.
So who's dating this guy?
Amanda.
Was she involved in the murder?
Yeah.
So they didn't kill her sister's, like they killed her boyfriend.
They killed Amanda's boyfriend. Anna killed it.
Amanda and Anna killed Amanda's boyfriend.
So Anna is the one that's telling this whole story.
Yeah.
She got caught, and this is her version of the story.
Yeah.
And so she says 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, Amanda and John, their car broke down, and they were coming off meth hard. The car broke down. So Anna and her dad, Larry.
Was they, like the 3 of them, like them and the car were coming off meth hard?
Yeah, they were all like, whoa. So Anna and her dad, Larry, they went to pick him up, and they moved him into Larry's house. So then the family started to make some new meth, right? And the ingredients didn't
Coalesce.
Coalesce, yes.
Oh my God. Why'd you write that word down? You didn't even practice.
I did practice.
You coalesce.
Coalesce.
Yeah.
Coalesce.
Yeah.
It didn't do it
so
properly.
that's what the word coalesce looks like.
Coalesce.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the word coalesce, you've seen it before. You've heard it. You might have never seen it, but ladies and gentlemen, this is coalesce.
Coalesce.
Yeah.
So, but Amanda kept it.
I only know that because that's one of my cousin's names.
So Anna says that her dad, Larry, he asked her in the weeks leading up to this, the 2 weeks between, when they moved in and when Valentine's Day happened, she noticed her sister and her dad talking sometimes, and her dad did ask her to cut up some rope, but it wasn't weird, And so then after.
You know what I used to say about people that cut rope?
What?
I was so it was way back. I wrote a joke about it way back in the day because I was talking to a guy, and I was like, we were talking about knives. And I was like, oh, you always carry a pocket knife, because I like to have a tool on me at all times. He's like, oh, yeah, I carry a pocket knife, too. And I brought out my Swiss Army knife, and it was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. And he pulled out a knife that just kept coming. It was like, what the fuck is you got a collapsible chef knife in your pocket? Like, what is this? It's like a Bowie knife. Like, what are you doing with that thing?
Yeah.
Is that a machete? You have a collapsible machete in your pocket? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And, that's basically what my reaction was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing with this knife?
Yeah.
This is a ridiculous knife. And he was like, I used it to cut rope. And I was like, this isn't getting better.
Yeah.
Like, this is, dude.
How much rope do you need in your life?
Yeah. And it was like, it sounds like, it sounds like you got at least 2/3 of a serial killer survival kit.
Yeah.
It's like, you got that knife, you got rope, that's like,
all you need is a victim.
That's it. That's all he needed.
Yeah.
That's all he needed. Whoa, what am I? But yeah, so cutting rope.
So
I don't trust people that cut rope.
Yeah.
Or that talk about it so cavalier. Like, why are you bringing that up in conversation?
Yeah.
Why do you think that's normal?
It's this whole thing, Anna seems to be very much like, I was just a victim and I just doing what I'm, and I don't quite trust her. So just putting that out there. So after Valentine's Day, Larry says that he wants to play a trust game. And Amanda, the sister that he ends up marrying, is like, yeah, let's play a trust game. She's like, I can get out of anything. Tie me up.
Yeah.
So they start tying her up, and she's tying herself up. They're like, look at what we can do. And then
wait, Larry brought up the trust game?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
boyfriend,
dad.
the
No,
dad.
John is the dad.
The dad brought up the trust game.
The dad.
To the daughters and the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like the four of them were sitting now, and he was like, "Let's play a trust game."
Yeah.
So for sure, all on meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
whole story is like, and so then they
Very
tie up
messy.
John. It's John's turn to get tied up. He gets tied up, and then all of a sudden, Amanda
no.
hits him upside the head with the wine bottle,
Oh no.
and he's like,
Oh
"Ah."
no. It was an accident.
It was
They
an-
had to kill him
Why do you think it was an accident?
because they tied him up,
Yeah.
right? And they're like, "Do you trust me? Do you trust me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not fucking trust. I'm not scared. I'm like, whatever." And she was like, "You trust me now?" And
Yeah.
made him flinch with a punch to the face. And he's
Yeah.
like that would do anything.
Yeah.
Like even if I didn't trust you, your little punches aren't going to do anything. So whatever, I trust you.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You trust me now?" And she tried to stop,
Yeah.
but she didn't calibrate the weight of a wine bottle,
Yeah.
and it kept going and smashed him in the head.
Yeah.
That's so far. I mean, that's like, but keep going.
So he was like, he stood up like his head's bleeding and stuff. And then Larry told Anna, he was like, if you know what's good for you and you want your kids to live, you're going to follow instructions. And she said, okay.
Holy shit. She hit him in the head with a wine bottle, and Larry was like, "I've been preparing my whole life for this." I know every license plate outside for a 5-block radius.
So Larry and Amanda, the guy's girlfriend,
Yeah.
they decided that John was a federal informant.
Of course he is.
And they were going to get this out of him.
With a wine bottle. Beat it out of him.
Yeah. So they were torturing him, trying to get him to admit this over the night.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, I'm not a federal informant, guys. I'm not." And so then they were going to give him truth serum.
Well, hold on a second, because I believe this was Larry's plan the whole time.
Yeah. So Anna did say that Larry had a creepy smile at some point. She's like, "I'll never get that smile out of my face." Like before the trust game and the wine bottle smash happened, she was like, "Larry, like she didn't Dad's up to something."
So that's one thing that we never give people on meth credit for. I mean, they're crafty.
Yeah.
They're crafty. I mean, they craft some plans for some ridiculous reasons.
Yeah.
And if you like kind of like let yourself settle in their world and kind of see things from their perspective, this is a good plan, Larry. You tricked them. You got him.
Yeah, Larry got him.
You got him to make
Let's
him
play
so.
a trust game.
Yeah, because like Larry's clearly the father of these two, so he's probably a little bit of an older gentleman.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe this guy's big enough where the three of them couldn't have taken him.
Right.
You know, especially on meth power.
Yeah.
Like a meth powered young man.
Yeah.
You need more than two women and an old guy.
Yeah.
You know, you often see that like multiple cops can't handle one meth powered young man.
Yeah.
This is a good plan, Larry.
You're with Larry.
Dude, R.I.P. R.I.P. boyfriend.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Dastardly plan, Larry.
So then, like the torture, and they're not getting any information out of John. Like
Dude,
he's not admitting
highly
it.
trained.
Yeah.
He's one of the best.
So
We didn't realize that he was one of the best.
So they gotta give him truth serum, right? So they have 2 syringes, and they fill it full of the bad meth that didn't coalesce earlier.
Yeah. Is that what they think truth serum is? They were like, truth serum's got to be some kind of meth. All right. I'm still not mad at that. I mean, that's not terrible logic, right? Because that's like meth makes you start like it turns you into a motor mouth. It turns you into a person that has like tinker. You know what I mean? So like since he can't tinker with his hands, he can only talk now.
Yeah.
You know, it's got like again, truth serum has to be some kind of meth.
So Anna injects him with one, didn't kill him. So she has to do him with the other one.
She gave him the vaccine.
Doesn't kill him. It didn't work.
It takes a double dose.
So she had to strangle him. So she strangled him, killed him.
Did he talk after that?
No, then she burns all his stuff.
Okay.
And then they tell her to put him in a trash bag. And she's got to he's like rigor mortis. And so she's like scarred by the cracking of the body to like get him in a trash bag. You know that she has to do. But she did it.
Ugh.
And they've got a mine shaft outside. But Larry said,
With
no,
ancient Egyptian queens in it.
we can't put him in the mine shaft.
Dude, not a single Egyptian royalty has ever been found in one of these mine shafts, by the way.
So they dig a shallow grave and put him in there.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, Amanda's like, we got to dig him up to see if he's really dead.
Yeah,
We
you
got
don't
to check.
No way we're going to let this motherfucker be Jesus. Get the fuck out of here.
So they dig him up, and they're like, oh, fuck, his hair's growing. He's still alive. Like, he's not dead.
I wonder how many millimeters of growth these meth heads noticed on this guy's hair. What? His hair's growing? Did he have dreads when they went back to find him? Like, what do you mean his hair's growing?
So they get, like, bed rails and, like, a sledgehammer, and they put it through him, like, through his body into the ground to make sure he stays in his grave.
He's a vampire.
Yeah.
He's for sure a vampire. He's growing hair in the grave? That's vampire shit.
Freaky.
Yeah.
So then Amanda and Larry, they go across state borders and they get married. Then they come back. They're from West Virginia, if you were wondering.
Okay, I think I could have triangulated that.
They come back and they dig them up again. And this time because Larry wants to sell the property and he wants to do some landscaping and he doesn't want anyone to find John.
Okay.
So they dismember him.
Got it.
And bury him in some, like, multiple graves and stuff.
Yeah.
And Larry got arrested and he wrote a letter and admitted to all of this, like that he did all this because he got in trouble for something else. And
for something else.
Larry's...
Dude, maybe regular meth is the truth serum.
Yeah, so he wrote a letter, he signed his name, and he was like, listen, I don't want West Virginia to have to spend any money on the courts and, like, trying to figure out, like, doing this whole trial and stuff. So, look, I did it. This is what happened. And just send me to jail. It's okay.
Yeah. Larry took the fall?
Larry took the fall. I mean, Anna is still in trouble for all this because she did a lot of the strangling and the murdering. The murdering part. And she's like, but I had to. And they're like, yeah, but you knew that was wrong. And she's like, you're right.
Yeah.
But we were playing a truth game.
She was like, that meth. Maybe they should start doing it. Give people meth. Like when they're interrogating them.
Yeah.
Because like you knew it was wrong. Yeah, you got me. Yeah. All right, we had a good time. This was a good time.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Two Jack Bros. Again, be sure to check out our Patreon. And that's one thing that we do, man. We don't put up episodes that we have questions about. Like, you don't have to love us, but. Well, I mean, if you listen this far, you probably like us, But that's the thing, I mean, if you like us, just know that we're not going to put out any bullshit. Like we only put out episodes that entertained us. Anytime we have any question about an episode at all, we're like, fuck that, man. Because we understand like how important it is to rely on your entertainment for entertainment. So we at least try to make sure that we're delivering what we can stand behind as entertainment, right? So. Let me just give out these shout outs real quick for us to get too preachy at the end of this episode. It's let me get the shout outs to my list. And again, like we do these shout outs every time. If you're new to the podcast, we just do these shout outs for some of our day ones. Not to we're not disparaging any of them. We love all of our listeners the same.
Yeah, let us know if you want to be shouted out too, right?
Oh yeah.
We'll add you.
Give us more work, Ansley. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Shout out Mike Butler, Mike Levy, Liz Bot, Doc, Kevin Stevens, Julian from Canada, and his wife Meg.says.so, and her podcast So and Tell. They saved us during the pandemic with face masks. Kevin Lau, Mary Jo Butterly, Nicole, Raj, Janelle, Courtney, Rick, Coach Rick actually, Andrew Pace, Keith Bucks, Kyle Hancock, Erica Daniels, Levi Mercer, Justin Masabi, Ezekiel Ellis, Logan, Ryan, Roger Down, Joe, Rob, Joe Francis, and his girlfriend's company Saved by the Wreath. Our man TJ James holding us down under. Nick Cupsey and your 2 books, Lost in the Mail, and The 5 People You Meet in Wawa. He's an author. This Old Guy, Still Remember Who You Are. Chris Bruno and Kevin McGran, shout out to my guys. Graham Hoffman, Chris Tucker, Derek Towson, who is my brother. We have different last names. I promise we will get to that at some later point. Sean Dowdy, our man, the shrimp guy, the seafood guy. I don't know. Maybe I'll see if he likes that. Guy Patterson, Brian Bachner, Toscani Rodriguez, and our man, Sean, the Boner King, king of all boners. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much. You're currently listening to Melissa Vile Kingdom and her band Circadian Clock. We're gonna have to get new music. We keep getting copyright strikes because of the
Do
thing.
we?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can just get her to do a couple jingles for us and just
Yeah.
like end it, like start it like jingle in, jingle out. And we'll be done with it.
I heard we should just go. Some people were suggesting we should go to Jack Bros.
Well, I think I'm gonna let her. Let her just like let her artistically
A
decide on how to do
professional
that.
musician. Yeah,
But that
she
could
is-
be it.
She is much better.
That
yeah.
could be
No,
how
let
that
her-
could be what she's inspired to do. We don't know. I'll just like we just just say the words to Jack Bros in a melodic, fun, catchy way,
Yeah,
and see
yeah,
what she
yeah,
comes
yeah.
up with.
It'll be amazing.
It'll be high level. You know. So, thank you so much for listening. We love you guys. We're out.
Bye.
Yeah. She got you.